So in this video, we are going to go over all of our time in Southeast Asia. We're going to give you our top 10. We're going to give you some numbers and just go over and summarize our time there. We really did have a great time. We were there for a total of 4 months, and we found it a great way to avoid winter. We had fabulous weather there for the most part, the kind of weather we like. There's some days that were quite hot, um, and there were a couple of days that were cooler than we anticipated. But we got to explore and visit some pretty neat places. And so, what we want to do is just go over those places with you. So, we're going to start first with numbers because once I sat down to figure out how many places we'd been and where we stayed and flights and all those sorts of things, you didn't realize how many we actually did till I put in numbers. So I'll let you start.
So how many flights did we take? We took a lot.
Yes,
So I think the total was 26.
26.
26 different flights
Mhm.
in and around Southeast Asia, getting there
and then getting home.
getting home.
Yeah,
So
so total of
so that was
26
that
flights.
was fun.
That was
That was
that was a
good.
lot. And not only that, we had some short flights, we had some long flights, but we also um, I think there's only one that we really kind of was diverted, if you want to call it that, and that
Oh, the
was because the
monsoons.
monsoon in Singapore.
Yeah.
So not only did our flight get changed, we actually changed airports altogether.
Yeah.
So that was probably the only one other than the initial
But it
flight
really
out.
was fine. We
Mhm.
just moved to the other place
Yeah,
and
actually, we
they
went to,
rebooked us easy and
but we ended up going back to the Singapore airport, so the big airport, and it was kind of cool because we got to explore that Singapore airport. And I
yeah,
will say,
really
of all
cool
of the
airport.
airports, that place it's fabulous. There's
Yeah.
so much to do and see there.
You can
It's
see why they voted as the number one
Yep,
airport. So,
exactly, yeah. So
but out
so
of that, which was really neat, and I think that's our number two numbers, is how many lounges we went to.
yes.
Because we did get an American Express Platinum card, which covers unlimited lounge use for both of us on the card. So
Mhm.
we really took advantage of them. That's why we wanted to get that before going on that trip. So just a tip, if you're doing a big trip like that, it is well worth it to get a card that has that access, especially
Mhm.
when we knew we were doing these 26 flights.
Yes,
So we actually hit 22 different lounges.
yes. And I will
So
say that when I got the total of how many flights we had, I thought our lounges would be higher, but out of all those lounges, there were 2 places that actually didn't have lounges because 'cause they're just too small an
yeah,
airport.
small airports.
But, and there's a couple places that we actually went to 2 lounges in one stay, and
Yeah,
that
because
was
we had
just,
longer.
yeah, like a 2.5 hour layover. So we spent like half the time at one, and we went to check out another one for the rest of the time. So I was surprised that we didn't have more lounges, but then when you thought about it, that's also the flights was like getting to a place, and then sometimes within that city, we went to 2 or 3 different places, and we didn't fly out. We actually, drove or took a
Mhm.
bus or um, not Uber. What did they call it there? Ride?
Grab.
Grab. I always got that wrong. So, yeah, so 20, but still, was it 22, 23? 22
22.
lounges. That was pretty cool. And
Yeah.
that's your meals. Like, keep that in mind. Like, it's not just lounge use. It definitely is
Meals,
comfortable.
drinks,
You
nice
got
place to sit
nice place to
down.
sit down,
It
Wi-Fi.
was nice.
It was,
Sure makes the 26 flights
yes.
uh,
Yeah,
much nicer.
yes.
And one thing I wanted to say to what we noticed in Asia was the airports and lounges. It was easier to get around. There's more lounges
Mhm.
there. They weren't busy. I don't think we had to wait to get into any lounges.
No.
Whereas here in North America, it's it's tougher. They're busier.
Mhm.
We've had to wait before. It just seems more hustle and bustle. Whereas in Asia, we never saw that though, and a lot
No.
of the lounges they're very quiet. There are not that many people in there, so So that was nice. Lounges were really nice and plentiful there too,
Hmm.
other than the small airports, but that's the same here.
Yep. Yep, for sure.
So now saying that, how many different beds do we stay in?
We stayed in a
Or
lot of beds
hotels?
or hotels. Yes. So the total amount of hotels was 23. So we stayed in 23 different beds, and that's including to, on our way home. So we stopped to see our friends. So
Mhm.
that was including their place. But that's 23 beds that we slept in.
Different bed.
Different beds. Different beds. Single beds, king
Over
size
4
beds,
months,
queen
so
size.
that's not too
Yeah.
bad, but, yeah,
We
we
did
did,
a lot of
some
hopping
hopping
around.
around, but
Hmm.
then we did stay some longer stays, like a
Hmm.
month at each,
And that's why I
place,
was really
so
surprised because we stayed a month in Koh Samui.
Koh Samui,
That's like 28 days.
yeah,
And we still did 23 beds.
23,
Wow.
so,
Yeah. That was a
yeah,
lot.
so it's fun.
But so
So should we get into, some of the
the top 10. So next
top
is our
10?
top 10. It's our top 10 list. And I will also clarify by saying
No particular order.
no particular order, but it was more the um we couldn't decide on one place. It was too hard. Pretty much every category on our list had two answers.
Yeah.
So let's start with number one. Number one,
Number
you go
1
first. Yeah.
is the best hotel view. So the view from our hotel room, and we both said for a big town, city, Kuala Lumpur,
Yes.
in Malaysia. Beautiful city. You can see the towers right out, the KL Tower, the Petrona Tower.
Yeah.
Um, the lights at night were
It was
spectacular. It
so
was really neat.
pretty.
Really neat.
So pretty. And that's not just from our hotel room. We went up on the 37th floor, and that's where we got the fabulous views from the pool. And they had an infinity pool there. And yeah, it was
Yeah.
just really lovely and great views for sure. And so, yeah, that won both of us.
Then on the other flip side of it, not in a city, very
Yeah.
remote, and you can't beat that view, was Raja Ampat in Indonesia.
Yes.
So again, very, very remote.
It
The
was, yeah,
water, the quietness
peaceful.
of it,
The
view right
birds,
off our balcony, like
our
we're
patio.
right on the
Yeah.
water, and it stilts over the water, so
Hmm.
it was like we were floating on the water.
Yeah.
So
That was
um,
breathtaking
yeah,
as
that
well. And
that was
that's all
awesome.
nature. Like that was just taking in like the stars at night, the lightning, watching the lightning. Yeah, there's Mother Nature is just a blessing. Like it was spectacular. It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So number 2 on the list is best hotel room layout.
Or layout. Yeah. So we did have some pretty tiny rooms. We really did. But we also had some really nice, comfortable rooms. And so we went with the best layout. And number one was Boracay. So
Mm,
Boracay had enough room to spread out. We had a nice balcony overlooking the pool. There were dressers and night tables. And so it basically had everything that I would want in a room to be comfortable to stay long term or
yeah,
whatever. Like it was comfortable. The beds were great.
yeah.
Yeah,
Very
the bed
modern,
was great.
clean.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But like I
But
said, we couldn't always
but then
decide.
we're back and forth. It's like we're really like Ubud too,
Yes.
because it was so that room was very big
Yes.
too.
The
Very
four-poster
nice.
bed.
Yeah. The balcony overlooking the pool there too.
Yeah.
Beautiful view.
And then the
You
rice
can see the
field
rice
on the
field
other
just off
side
to the
too.
right
So
side of it. Um,
yeah.
so those were two
And nice washrooms for both of
two
them as
our two
well.
top ones,
Yeah.
and we had a hard time
Yeah,
picking
we couldn't pick
in
just
between
one.
them.
So
So there you go.
there you go. So the next category is nicest pool. And I love a nice pool. And we picked one. Well, we couldn't just pick one. So we're back to that again. We couldn't pick one. But you want a pool that you can get into, that it's comfortable, it's not freezing, it's still refreshing. And sometimes there's some days that it's so hot that um, you just you just need to cool off. And so not only the niceness of the pool, but the whole ambiance and where you're sitting. And anyways, I picked Boracay. Boracay had an
Yeah, they're
absolutely
beautiful
beautiful
pools.
pool. Now, not just one pool, but they had 3, 4, 5. I don't even know. We just
Yeah, there's
sometimes we
lots
just
of 'em.
pool hopped. We
Mhm.
just jumped from one to another, and they were fabulous pools. Those were really cool. That's one of the things that is always nice when you're on holidays is to just relax. You want a place that you can relax and enjoy. That pool was fabulous.
So then what about the, pool in, Koh Samui?
Yeah. So
Koh Samui again
that
was
was
really
really nice
nice. It
too.
was
It had
right
that
on the
resort
beach.
feel too.
It was like a resort. They had a adults pool
Mhm.
and a regular pool, and then they had, like, a kids pool.
Yep.
So, that was a nice layout too,
And
and
that
we spent
was
quite a bit of time around that
yes.
pool too.
No, we were there for a month.
Yeah.
So we every day we were in the pool. I don't think there's any days that we did not go. Oh wait, we had one day that rained.
Mm.
There was just the one day that rained, and I think no, I think we still went in the morning. So yeah, we were in the pool every
But we
day.
were there for a month.
Yeah. So it was yeah, it was really nice. It had a nice pool, nice layout, even though and we're right on the beach. So we could go into the beach and into the ocean and then come back in and hang by the pool. So that was nice. Yes. So what
For
else on our
sure.
list?
So now the next one's hotel value.
Mhm.
So what we got for our value? Again, we got to go back to Kuala Lumpur with that beautiful view, and it was our best value one, and it came in at $28.75 a night. So not was it the best view, but also the best value,
Yeah.
best bang for our buck. It
Yes.
was
I
that was
remember I
amazing.
remember in the video I was saying, yeah, it's 100 and whatever it was, $130 or whatever. And then I went, wait a minute. It kind of clicked. That was like for the 5 days that we were there. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely
And not
great
just a hotel
value.
room, but like we had a little kitchenette there.
Yes.
It was a big room, the view. But then
Hmm.
also you mentioned too is the 37th floor had a huge infinity pool.
Hmm.
There was a bar up there, a
Hmm.
restaurant, 360 view of the city. You could
Yes.
see all the towers.
But
The
that hotel was really cool too. Sorry to interrupt, but I just thought of this. Remember we had found those little nooks and
yes,
crannies
yep, yeah,
where
yeah.
each
They're
floor
on
had their own
different
little
floors, sort of like I don't
place to
know.
relax.
Yeah, that was
Hmm.
pretty unique.
Little nook. It was yeah, that was cool. Yeah. So, but
Now there's a second runner up for that
oh
too,
yeah, which
which
one
we
was
were
that?
talking about
Oh
is
yeah,
Ubud. So a little bit
yes.
more expensive, $36
That
and
one broke the
ninety
bank.
six
No,
cents
just kidding.
a night,
Yeah.
and that was a beautiful
Yes.
place too because it was sort of off the beaten path, so it was a
But
little bit quieter, but really
five
close to
minutes, you're at a
downtown.
restaurant.
Um, it had a really nice
Hmm.
pool overlooking the
Yeah.
balcony.
Yeah.
So bang for your buck. That place was good, and especially in Ubud.
Yes. Yes. But it also had the little walkway to get there. Like you couldn't get dropped right off at your hotel. It was like these little paths, and so we only had our carry-on, so it wasn't like we were lugging a bunch of luggage and stuff like that. But just the placement of it was so cool too, because you're walking down this cute little pathway with all the flowers
Mhm.
and the trees, and all of the little hotels that were there have these huge gates to go in. Anyways, it's very lovely, and like yeah, when you think bang for your buck,
Yeah.
$36.
So
Holy cow!
now on the flip side, what was our most expensive place we stayed at?
So when you think about most expensive, this one really was. And we knew we were going to splurge on this because all of the research we did just piqued our interest and we knew we needed to do this. We did go to Halong Bay. Now,
That's
Halong
in
Bay
Vietnam.
in Vietnam, Halong Bay is the whole experience. So it turned out to be $400.08 a night.
Mhm.
And that was expensive, but
But that included their
it
food, the
concluded
cruise.
everything.
So it's
So,
quite not maybe a fair comparison as
no.
it's not a hotel room, it's a cruise.
Mhm.
So if you take that out of the equation, then the most expensive place hotel wise that we stayed at was Kuta Beach
Yes.
in uh,
It
Indonesia.
yeah, so it's in Bali. So, we stayed there for 6 nights,
And it
and
was $129.83 per
yep.
night. But it did include a lot too.
Mhm.
So that's the most that we paid
Mhm.
per night. but include a really good breakfast
Mhm.
up by the pool.
Yep.
We had happy hour, 1 hour per day
Yep.
for free flow drinks, they call it.
Yep.
Um, and it also included two
2
dinners,
dinners.
which we had, which was really good.
Yep.
So
But it also had that really neat pool
yeah,
overlooking the ocean. Like, we were right on the beach
right
there.
on the beach,
So, we knew it was
beautiful
gonna
view.
cost more.
Um,
Yes.
so, but
But
but that made it more expensive. But then you got a lot for it.
But I was gonna say also with Halong Bay, like you did mention, it included everything, but, I don't know if you mentioned that it also included our way there, our 2 or 3-hour drive from our hotel and back. They included that as well, and all of the excursions. So, when I say included everything, it did include everything. So that's where that $400 was. And then again with being in Kuta Beach, yes, there was so much included in that cost per day that again, if you were to take those things out, then you're looking at even more of a value.
Mhm.
But right behind that was another big splurge, and it was the next most expensive thing, so third on the line, and that was in, Boracay. So Boracay, we knew it was gonna be a beach town, we knew it was gonna be a little bit more expensive, but that did include breakfast.
And
We
that was our last place to go to before heading back home too.
Yes. So we
So we
knew we
kind of
wanted to,
splurged a bit,
but
but wow, it was a beautiful place,
we're
and that's why we named it as the best pools.
yeah.
So it was like being at a resort,
Mhm.
so which was so nice. So that
Mhm.
came in at $123.98.
Yep.
So still,
Still a great
li-
value.
yeah, for what we got.
And the breakfast was fabulous. Like,
Breakfast
I'm not a
fabulous.
breakfast person, as I've said before, because I'm not hungry when I first wake up. I rather eat when I want to eat and I'm hungry. I hate feeling forced to go have breakfast. And a lot of the places I would have breakfast if it went on to like 10:30ish kind of thing, and it worked out well because we were up earlier, and by then I was hungry. But with this one, I was just like, "Oh, I'm going for breakfast." Went every day. And again, they were later too, till about 10:30. So even if you got there at quarter after 10, they were still serving breakfast and you'd still got a hot, eggs if you wanted hot eggs. Like, yeah, it was a great value. Definitely got a lot of bang for your buck, anyways. Mhm.
So our next top 10 was best sightseeing town.
Yes.
And we both said Kuala Lumpur.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful city, clean, so much to see. You can walk different, very walkable. Um, and then yet we used public transit there. We
Hmm.
went to Batu Caves, which was about a half hour, was it north of there?
Hmm.
And we jumped on a train, real easy to get there, brought us
Hmm.
right there, very affordable. So
Hmm.
again, that town. But saying that, then we had a hard time with that too. So sort of another sightseeing town was Bangkok.
Hmm.
So much to see in Bangkok. Really neat city.
Hmm.
Along the river, we traveled up and along the river on the water
It
taxis.
seemed bigger in some ways because right beside us was Chinatown. We're right by Chinatown. So again, we try and make our hotel or pick hotels that are centrally to where we want to see. But as we explored a little bit further and went to the river took us a long way. Like, we just followed
Mhm.
it and then we're like, oh look, let's take the taxi,
And
the
that's
water
where we saw all
taxi.
the elephants too.
Yes. So
Well, they weren't real elephants.
yeah, the
The
elephant
elephant
parade,
parade,
which we didn't even know
really
was a
cool.
thing until like we kept coming across all these elephants. And then some of them have the little plaques, some don't. But we finally came across one of the plaques and it was just like, or maybe they did have the plaques, we didn't see it. But, anyways, we realized what it was and I did more research on it afterwards. But it was pretty cool. And I think we saw 12, and I think there's a total of 68. Don't quote me on that. I'll list exactly how many, I forget now. But it was so neat to see. And you would see them as you walk along. And I think it was just fascinated in the fact that there was something to see at almost every street corner, it just seemed. And it was lovely. So both of those places.
We get to see the king there too, King
Yeah,
of Thailand.
that's right.
So that was
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was
cool
cool.
too.
That was a bonus. Um,
Check out our other videos if you want to see more details on all these places that we're talking about
yes.
and some of
Follow
these
us on our
highlights.
Southeast Asian tour.
Mhm.
So sometimes when you go to places, you just seem to connect with them off the bat. And that's what our best vibe is about. And so, again, there are a couple of places that we went that we really enjoyed that went, this is pretty cool. But there's a couple that we just went, oh, yeah, this is my vibe. So I'm going to say the
So
first one
best vibe,
is
Kamala Beach.
Mala Beach. Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the nice things with the nice vibe is that it gives you little feelings of just being there before or just feeling the calmness and just, I don't know, you just seem to connect to it. And for me, that was the way it was situated. And that was the beach, the road, and then the shops. And that's where it tied into Fort Lauderdale, but also it's how it tied into the Dominican. And that there are all of those cute little restaurants and bars like right there on the beach. You could sit
Mm.
there and eat and drink and have your feet right in the sand. That was cool. That was cool.
Hmm.
What was your reason for enjoying it?
Yeah, same. I mean, it was a cool beach town,
Mhm.
and yeah, everything was right there.
Yeah, we didn't do a lot of, like, we didn't do any touring at all. We basically just spent time by the pool and by the beach. We just went to eat, sat in the water, and sat in a lounge chair. Like, that's what that 5 days was about for us. And we knew we had been busy up to until that point. But I think it just blew me away in just that calmness and that vibe that they had. I think I'm gonna just go with I'm a beach person. I don't know.
Mm.
I
Now,
just
if you took the beach out of it,
yeah
what would be next?
yeah
I would say Ubud, right?
yes
Yeah,
Ubud for
Ubud
sure.
was that was a neat place.
Yeah, the vibe there too was a little bit different because now we're sort of up in the mountains,
Hmm.
but it's the way the shops were put together and just the streets, the way they're cobblestone and how they have shops everywhere and
Shops,
restaurants,
yeah.
cafes,
Everything's close by. They had
hmm
everything. It kind of,
the rice fields, greenery,
yeah,
just the buildings, the way they're, I don't know, it was just, it too had
it
this
kind of blew
vibe.
us away, right?
Hmm
Yeah, that was a neat
There were a
place.
lot of tourists that I think that's probably where we found more international tourists, like people from like Sweden and Finland. And yeah, it was just not just other Asian people there. It was more of a multicultural atmosphere. And I don't know, there was something about that vibe that I really enjoyed. It was pretty cool. I like that. So yeah, best vibe.
Okay, so
Mhm.
next one, what do you think about the best beach?
Best beach,
Boracay?
Boracay.
Yeah.
Yeah, hands down. It
And the water.
was.
I mean, the beach,
Mhm.
beautiful, and the water.
We had a
Remember the
lot.
sunsets?
Oh, the sunsets
Yeah, they
were
were amazing.
spectacular.
Yeah.
Just
It seems
watching
like I
them
think
from
there's
the
more
beach.
people on the beach during sunset just to
Yeah,
come out
yeah,
because it's such a neat spot to see the sunset.
spectacular. Yes,
So,
and it just the beach vibe. Like the sand was powder white, the
mhm.
water was crystal blue.
Lots of restaurants.
Everything you need right there. Like it had
We did have
everything.
loungers included with our hotel that were
Hmm
right on the beach that
Yep.
were reserved for us. So
Yeah.
that was maybe that made it nice too.
hmm
But there was other places too you go
Like we
if you
did
didn't have that.
we did go to a lot of beaches, and there were some that are really
Mhm.
beautiful as well. Like I'm not going to say that they weren't because they really were. But this, I don't know, it was just so serene. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, just walking down the beach, your feet in the sand. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yep.
So the
Next,
next one is most quaint.
yes.
Um, Hoi
Again,
An,
Hoi
Vietnam,
An, like the lanterns, the flowers,
the
the
river,
lights, the
the
river, the
bridges,
boats all
the
lit up.
boats,
That was absolutely stunning.
the
Like
food.
the food was so
The food was
good.
amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
there's just so much. The old town with all the shops and
we got to use the bikes. We did a lot of biking
hmm
through the rice
yeah, it was
fields.
easy to get around.
Uh,
Yeah, that was a really it was so quaint. It really was. That blew me away. That
yeah.
surprised me. It blew me away. But also again, we can't keep it to just one because there's always something that's like right beside it that we can't decide. And our number two place for the best, most quaint place was Old Town Phuket.
Yeah, Thailand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was so
that was a
so
neat
neat
little
too.
town and old town, and
Yes,
um,
just
yeah,
again the
really
shops
neat vibe. Uh,
and
the
cafes and
culture, yeah,
it was
that was neat.
smaller. It was a smaller area because we were like in downtown. Um, Still a lot of really neat places to see and explore. But again, the quaintness, like that was just walking down the street. So
Mm,
pretty. It really was. Yeah. The night market, they just closed the whole street down. It was like it was busy. But yeah, but it was fun. I enjoyed it
mm.
a lot. Okay, where we are. Okay.
So yeah,
So when
next
it
one.
comes down to it, we kind of summarize like we love this place, okay? We loved everything. But you kind of always go in with a particular thing in mind or
Or a vision of
a
it from
vision
what
of
you
what you
read, and
think it's going to
you
look
know.
like or a place that it's going to be. So the next one was which place surprised you the most? So I'll let you answer that one first.
So I'm gonna say for me, it was Vietnam. Vietnam. I guess I just had a certain image of it, but it wasn't what I expected at all. It really surprised me. It's very modern,
Mm-hmm.
clean. The people are fantastic. The food's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I was just expecting more like a poorer country, but it
Which is,
isn't. It's a very rich
yeah.
country.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a rich country, but
Or, but
it's not third world.
no,
And I
not at
think
all.
when you kind of sort of think about, I think it for you, you're thinking about how much it was costing us to go there. And so the cost of living of there is significantly less than it is here in Canada.
Yeah.
So I think when you think about that, you kind of think that it's very poor. But like all of the restaurants that we went in were family owned, and you would have grandma in there doing stuff, and
Mm,
then you'd have grandchild in there doing stuff. Like it was
yeah,
the
really neat.
work ethic and
Yeah.
yeah,
And that was sort of all over in Vietnam. It wasn't any
mhm,
one particular place. It was all over.
yeah,
And out of all the countries we went to, I think it was probably the cheapest for food
hmm,
and drink. That way,
snacks, chips.
snacks. Yeah. So
Hmm. But
yeah,
overall,
very cool.
you were
But
really
then
surprised.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you actually had a different place that kind
Yes.
of surprised you, which was
Ubud.
Ubud.
So I knew I wanted to go and I knew it was in the mountains, but for some reason, it's not what I anticipated. When you're driving from the airport to Ubud, you're going up the mountain, but it's a slight incline, if you want to call it that. But there's no separation between mountain and city. Like there are houses and shops all the way, like all
Hmm.
the way up there. And I don't know, when people say, oh, you're going up to the mountains, I just assumed you're going to have like trees and bush and palm trees and whatever in between, not all of these buildings and restaurants. Like they're all one story,
Yeah.
not many more than two, but these little places all the way up. So I was really surprised when we took the scooter and
Hmm.
we explored a little bit more. Then you're kind of moving a little bit more out of the city, out of the Ubud kind of thing, and that's when we got to see more of the mountains and the greenery and all that stuff. And I'm not saying surprised me in a bad way. I just surprised me. I just thought it was going to be more remote, and it wasn't. And
No, everything was there.
everything was
Uh,
there. And then even when I was there, like we were looking at some of the maps and pictures or whatever, and it just looked like it was a little bit run down, and that's not what we saw. I
no,
mean, there's
not at
some
all.
places that might be, but not where we were, and we walked everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Hmm.
And then the fact that right beside our hotel was not rainforest, was the rice paddies. Like that was like right
Rice
beside us,
fields.
rice fields. Like it was right beside us. So you kind of integrate. That's why you would have one street, oh, two or three behind with the hotels because they were working around the rice fields. So
Hmm.
I was pleasantly surprised, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So saying that, all these places that we went to, and don't get us wrong, we went to fantastic places.
Mhm.
Which places will we return to? So someplace we went to, great to see them, but if you went there again, might not be the same excitement.
Yeah, if you saw it, done it, would you
Yeah.
go back?
The three places we'd like to go back. So Ubud, no particular order. Ubud
Mhm.
in Indonesia, Koh Samui in Thailand, and number 3 is Boracay
Or
or
Kai.
Boracay.
Yeah,
I always say it wrong. In the
Philippines.
Philippines.
Yes.
All fantastic places. We could definitely go back there and
Spend
um,
time.
spend time, see more of
Yeah.
it. Um, yeah,
Yeah. So Koh
so those
Samui,
are
we were there for a month. So apparently we didn't get enough. Um, the only, excuse me, the only difference I think would be we rented the the scooter for like the 1 week.
Mhm.
And we felt the need to use it every day because we only had it for the 1 week. If we could make them
But
a
it was so
deal,
much fun.
oh, it was. So if we could make them a deal and have it for the entire month that we were there,
Yeah, and we
then
could have easily too. But
and we could have. We just decided that the 1 week we'd just go do our thing, and it wasn't until like it was the first week without it, then the second week with, and the third and fourth without. And by the time we got to the fourth week, we're like, we should have just kept it, just because sometimes you want to just explore again a little bit more.
and
And
even though it's an island,
mhm,
there's still lots to see.
mhm,
Like that in that week, it was pretty busy.
yes,
I think we hit every beach.
yeah, we tried.
Every
We tried to. I don't think we hit them all. We
Yeah,
tried,
maybe.
but yeah, we
Yeah, and
just
then there's some beaches you would like to stay there longer.
yeah.
So I think if we did get it longer, yeah,
Yes.
we'll do that next time.
I think so. And would we stay for a month again? Definitely. Would we stay longer?
Maybe.
Probably. Probably. It was everything. The weather, the atmosphere, everything. It just came down to, and I liked where we were. We were 15 minutes away from the hotel, the farmers, fisherman's market, night
Mhm.
market, the wharf.
Good
Like
one.
it was really, yeah, we were. It was a great place.
Yeah.
When it comes to Ubud, though, same thing. Um, the only reason we said would we go to a different hotel was because when we sat outside and we sat out on their loungers, they were uncomfortable. That was just the drawback. Would we go back to that place? Yes, everything else was wonderful. But I just don't feel like we had enough time there.
Yeah.
And what was the last one? Boracay. Okay. So Boracay's on the list because it's fabulous. You're right there on the beach. Like the water is crystal clear. It is absolutely amazing. And I wanted it on the list because of all of that. But having said that, I would like to see about going to another place in the Philippines that have all of those things that we like about Boracay.
Yeah, so there's other islands close by there that
And the
some
locals
people
were
were saying, "Oh,
saying,
you should go there."
mhm.
So
So I want to
maybe
have
we'll have to go check that
the
out.
Boracay atmosphere, beach, beautiful beach like that. The hotel proximity doesn't have to be like that same kind of hotel. It doesn't have to be that high tier hotel. Just something that like that we had in Koh Samui, or even in Ubud, but just in a different place so that we could explore another place. So I put Boracay on because I loved it. And if you ask me right now if I go back, yes. But the more I thought about it, the more we thought about it, we kind of went, but I think I would like to try a different place with the
Mhm.
same that same vibe, that same beauty, that same spectacular sunset. I don't know if you get it anywhere else, but
Mhm.
that's what we're here for, to try these places out.
Yeah.
But
So there you go.
there you
There's
go.
4 months in Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia.
Um,
So I hope
Guys, if you want to find out more about these places, more in detail than what we just talked about, check out our video series on Southeast Asia.
Mhm.
We'll put a link to it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, we had a great time.
Mhm.
4 months went by fast.
Very
A lot of
quickly.
people said, "Were you waiting to get home or itching to get back home?" And
I miss my babies, but
no, but
and my friends, but
it wasn't because it was like, okay, we've had enough of
no.
this. We could have stayed longer. So
Definitely. So this is the finishing off of our Southeast Asia tour, but we're not done because we now make our way to San Francisco. So that's what you're going to see next is our San Francisco trip, and we get to spend 3 days there. So watch next week so you can follow along with us and see what happens next because we got a couple other places that we do hit before we make our way home. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like and comment if you have anything you'd like to share with us. And don't forget to watch our other videos. I hope you enjoyed our Southeast Asia journey. See you
Thanks,
next.
guys. Thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you. See you next time.
Bye.